Well, our incompetent Home Secretary Priti Patel is finally feeling some urgency when it comes to the migration crisis in this country. Because we've just now signed a new agreement with Nigeria to tackle illegal migration. And on the same day, to my surprise, they've actually put people on the plane and they've deported the first group to Nigeria. I mean, I love to give you guys good news and good news stories. So this is a good, little victory, good win. But for the past few hours this morning, this has been out, this news. I'm still waiting for the mainstream media to talk about this. Hopefully by the time I upload this video on YouTube, you might have heard some on other news channels. But come on guys, you're taking your time. Now this is quite interesting because Priti Patel is finally feeling some urgency. She's going left, right and centre, trying to come up with new ideas, trying to sign agreements and new contracts with random countries around the world. First it was Rwanda. That went well, didn't it? But we have some good updates. So for the past 2 years, she's been ranting about changing law and introducing legislation. And we were like, okay, interesting promise, get it done. Luckily, finally, this week, the Nationality and Borders Bill, the Act, is now in place. Yes, finally, she did something. Secondly, they are taking the Rwanda case to use it as precedent so that they could prevent the deportations next time from being blocked. So let's see how that goes. I have no faith. But this one is interesting, the agreement, the migration agreement that we have with Nigeria, because we've already deported a group of them on the same day. Fascinating. So, Priti Patel says, our new landmark agreement with Nigeria will increase the deportation of dangerous foreign criminals. Now, this is quite good because it's one of the problems that we don't really talk about, not we, but the establishment and the media are not really talking about much. Everyone's talking about the boats, the migrant boats and the small boats. But we also have actually criminals, foreign criminals who are still here. And every few years, every few months, the Home Office tries to deport them. The left-wing lawyers prevent the deportations. It happens all the time. And it was about time for Priti to actually come with some sort of plan. Again, it reminds me of the Rwanda thing. So don't expect a miracle, even though on the same day, and first day, they've actually deported a group of them, 30 of them. So not a bad start. 30 is still better than 7, right? So that's good. They've already sent them because the idea that they have is quite interesting. Under this new agreement, both countries will issue emergency travel certificates or temporary passports within 5 days in order to speed up the removals. This way, that will actually prevent the left-wing lawyers to get to the office and sort out the paperwork and run to the plane and stop them. Metaphorically, obviously. So this is the new agreement. The idea is to accelerate and speed up the removal plans. And this would hopefully make some changes, right? Again, I'll just have to wait and see if they can get it done. We've seen the first flight, fine. But nothing to do with the agreement because, that's just going to be coming in place now. So this new idea should make it easier. Should. But as we said, we already deported 30 people on day 1. And they didn't even have to use the agreement to do this. So imagine if they actually try to be competent. I know, right? I have no faith. Then they can actually do it easier, quicker, with more people. And then if they can replicate this model for the Rwanda plan as well, then win-win. But I also have a bigger problem with the Rwanda agreement because whilst we are sending the France's migrants, those who are fleeing the chaotic country that is France, well, we also have to take some of the vulnerable refugees and migrants from Rwanda. I hope that was just there to sign the agreement to keep the Rwandan, the government of Rwanda happy. And I hope that the British government just keep distracting them rather than taking people from Rwanda because they know it's a disastrous plan. If you're taking people from Rwanda while send 2 people from here and then take 2 back, then it's not just a big problem for this crisis that we have in this country. It's also it's an election loser. If you want to lose an election, the Tories, then do it. Yeah, see what happens. See how people will react in this country. We are a very tolerant and open country, but we want to make sure that we don't be taken advantage of. That's all we care about. Do not open the door to people without being vetted. That's not what we want. We just want sensible policy. Now, subscribe to the channel. We're going to come back in half an hour. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.